Welcome in, everybody, to MMS Money Racing on this Friday night. This was supposed to be the Friday Night Rush Hour series for John Ward. Unfortunately, John had something come up, and Kenny McCullough decided to throw something up in his absence. So here we are, with an MMS race here at Talladega in the Xfinity cars here tonight. It's a kind of light field tonight. We'll go ahead and go through the grid for you. Cody Nagels and Vicente Guerrero with a Nightmare eSports lockout in row number 1. Sean Corbett and Chris Melton will start 3rd and 4th. Wyatt Gray in 5th. Chase Mastretta in 6th. David Flanagan in 7th. Brian Hennings in 8th. David Sheets in 9th. James Wagner in 10th. Scott McLean in 11th. Mark Von Dell in 12th position tonight. 13th will be Jonathan Herbert. 14th, Daniel Falkingham. Kyler Wynn in 15th. Trevor Osborne 16th. Joshua McCullough in 17th. Chris Walker 18th. Josh Jambroni 19th. Heath Job 20th. Tucker McClendon 21st. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in 22nd. Mark Person 23rd. William Rice in 24th. Samuel Carter in 25th. And Ambrose Knable in 26th rounds out the field here tonight. Go ahead and pull up the race info before we grid here. It's Talladega Superspeedway, Xfinity cars, 50-lap race with a 50% fuel tank. Unlimited tires, 1 fast repair here tonight, which could lend to some wild racing. Fixed setups, as always, and 3 attempts at an overtime, should we need them. As we said, it's a light field tonight. This was supposed to be Ward's race for his new series that he's been starting up. It started last week, and tonight was supposed to be race number 2. Like we said, unfortunately, something came up for him. The drivers are going ahead and gridding right here. It should be a fun one. It is a light field, but a lot of big names in here. So hopefully we will have a good event, and hopefully a clean event. Just 50 laps of racing here. It's a pretty short race, but we could have at least 1, maybe even 2 pit stops with a 50% fuel tank beginning this one. It's before the race as well. We can bring up the weather for tonight's race. An 80-degree track temp, which means the track's relatively cool. Tire wear shouldn't be as big of an issue, especially compared to some of the 130 and 140 track temps we've had that absolutely rips the tires apart. But instead, a lighter one, a cooler one this evening, so tire wear for pit entries and pit exits shouldn't be as big of a deal as it normally is. Kind of a delayed grid right here. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this one. Usually it takes 2 minutes after qualifying for the grid to form up. It looks like we have a few missing spots on the grid. We see Chris Melton isn't back here. He's supposed to be starting at 4th. David Flanagan isn't here. Osbernoth, McCullough, Walker. A lot of names just not on the racetrack right now. It's not entirely sure what's going on, so apologies for that. Sounds like we heard a geared shift right there, so we might be getting ready to roll off. See, Chris Melton in 4th has decided to join the grid right here. Still a few cars missing right here. So while we wait, let's see if we can grab a quick interview. I see Sean Corbett is down here. Let's see if we can talk to him real quick. Sean Corbett is landed in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, man.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It seems like the grid is taking a while. We're up to 5 minutes right now, unless we're waiting for people to show up and something. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But what's your outlook on tonight's race? You think you got a good shot to win it?
Oh, heck no. There's no snowball's chance in hell. You see this grid?
Well, it's Super Speedway racing. There's always a chance.
He extended the grid to let some people get in there and figure out some stuff. A bunch of people jumped in at the last minute, so he had to extend it a little bit.
I understand. Well, you've got a good group of teammates around. You got Heath Job and Jonathan Herbert there. Hopefully you can have a good run as we're finally starting to roll off the grid. Thanks for joining us real quick. Honestly, needed something to fill the time here. Wasn't really sure what was going on with the grid right there, but thanks for hopping up and talking to us real quick.
No problem. I'm going to get the hell, see what happens.
Yes, sir.
And talk to you later, hopefully.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy.
That is Sean Corbett for Hyper Motorsports as we're finally about to begin this race. That is a common problem some days, sometimes, with certain people. If there's other events going on, league races and things of the like, where they need to they ask for the grid to be extended so they could actually make it into the race and everything because they want to be here, they want to be a part of the event. It's a good thing, but it confuses us broadcasters sometimes because we don't have a way of seeing exactly what's going on. So apologies again for that. But we're finally about to go green here for this 50-lap race in what appears to be a 24-car field. For this one, there's a couple relatively new names in here. I see Mark Person. I believe that is another relatively new name to Money Racing. I think he's been running some of John Ward's pot races and his series and other things of that nature in that series, but he wants to have his try at MMS. A very nice paint scheme on that Ford Mustang for Mark Person in the 20 car. See, Daniel Falkingham is here as well tonight, a Coke Series driver, a regular in the Coke Series, but now he's pretty much a regular in Money Racing in that scene for Nightmare eSports. There's a look at him in the number 39 car. Malik Ray is not here tonight. That's an interesting notable that is not here on this evening, but we have Falkingham and Malik Ray's teammate Kyler Wynn is here per usual in the number 82 Team Red and White Chevrolet Camaro. We are coming to the green flag right here. The pace car is off. And Cody Nagels and Vicente Guerrero, the two Nightmare boys, are going to lead them to the green flag. In this one, this 50-lap event we have for you here tonight, the green flag is out and we are racing at Talladega. Lap 1 is in the books, and we've already got some three-wide action to the back of the pack. Vicente Guerrero in the Budweiser number 14 is going to lead the first lap of this event in front of his teammate Cody Nagels. Trevor Osmoroth, Kyler Wynn, and Chris Walker in the back trying to make a move. In the third line, seeing what they can form up together for the Jack Shack, see if they can make any forward progress. Looks like David Sheets in the 06 on the bottom is going to drop to the back of this pack. He wants to save some fuel, or he just doesn't like the look of this three-wide racing this early. But he's going to drop back from McCullough Motorsports. Trevor Osmoroth, Kyler Wynn making a decent run up here on the third line, trying to make whatever progress they can, as Nagels is going to hop up from the bottom lane in front of his teammate Guerrero and begin controlling the lanes here early on lap 2. Kyler Wynn with a great push to Trevor Osmoroth. He's already almost at the tailgate of Cody Nagels. We're going to be a 3 wide for the lead at the line, but it looks like Nagels got it. Chris Melton's blowing up in the middle of the pack. Chris Melton has just blown his engine out. Chris Walker makes contact with him. It looks... that has to be what went wrong for him right there. That's crazy. I have no idea how that would have happened this early in this race for Christopher Melton, but he does have a fast repair, so if he can nurse that back to pit road, he should be okay. For the rest of this race, he's just going to be down probably at least 1 lap, maybe even 2. We'll take it back up front here. Sean Corbett's taking the lead for Hyper Motorsports at the bottom. We spoke to him before this race. He didn't feel good about his chances, but he's been someone that's been running very, very solid recently and more up at the front, learning how to control the front of the field in the PGR Light Series, and not only there, but also in the big races as well, like last night's Intimidator Series race. Sean Corbett's someone, he's improved his qualifying super well. He's improved his racecraft super well. Here he is leading this thing at the front of this field. Good to see Sean Corbett taking it to the normal guys of Cody Nagels and Vicente Guerrero, Wyatt Gray. It's a cool story for him. Josh Jambroni is in the back of this pack, trying to make something happen. It looks like with a push from Joshua McCullough. They're trying to make their push up to the front. Osmanoth and Wynn decided to hop back into the middle, and now Wynn wants to hop back out to the outside line and ditch Trevor Osmanoth right there. It separated the three Nightmare teammates. Mastretta is now behind Osmanoth, but also behind his teammates Guerrero and Nagels, but they are basically trapped where they are right now with that third line led by Jambroni. Wyatt Gray, with a push from David Flanagan, is now in the lead of this race. Still 3x3 racing, but some calm and organized racing. You like to see that. Chris Walker, after getting tagged by Christopher Melton, his engine blow right there, he is now back on the charge, caught the pack once again, and he is going to go straight to that third line behind Kyler Wynn. He does not want to be caught up in anything like that again, that is for sure. Brian Hennings has a little bit of damage in that 74 car on the right rear, as we can see, presumably from what happened to him and Chris Melton. Right there, Scott McLean in the number 58, fourth on the bottom, leaving a big gap right here, but a beautiful paint scheme, the red, white, and blue. 58 for Scott McLean. Having a solid run so far. It is early. We're coming to lap 6 right here. The field is going to lap Christopher Melton right here. It looks like he's got his engine back repaired with the fast repair that was offered in this race. So he will go a lap down, but he should have no issue. Oh, Josh Ambroni's going to put him in the wall. Right there. That had another strange look. Looked like Jambroni just got a little loose when they went 4 wide. Not sure what that was about, but everyone got through it. Walker and Wynn are going to now hop to the bottom. They saw what happened to the leader of their line, and they didn't want any part of it. Christopher Melton should have no problem catching back up to this pack. As we'll take a look at him, he's fine. He is here, back with the pack, except he is a lap down. So he will have to hope for a caution to get that lucky dog. He is the only car lap down right now, so he should have no issue trying to get that sorted out. It's still Jambroni and McCullough leading the charge on the outside. But since Wynn and Walker left them up there, they're just the only two up there. Josh McCullough has to be getting hot at this point. As you can see, the gap he is leaving behind Josh Jambroni. So they need someone else to hop up in front of them for sure if they want any hope of going back there. They have Tucker McLennan and Chris Melton, interestingly, trying to go up to that top side. Maybe he's interested in getting his lap back the old-fashioned way. But it's going to be a tough thing for him to negotiate from the back of the field and hope he does not get wrecked in the process, because if you have an incident point and a caution comes out while that incident point is on your screen, that negates your lucky dog. So basically you have to wait once again. If you were involved in the wreck or not, if you have one, that will be a problem for Chris Melton if he does get involved in a wreck, which we might well have, because Kyler Wynn is in the back taking this 4 wide. Josh McCullough backs out of it. Tucker McLennan's giving him some help back there. Josh McCullough wanted no part of it. As you see, he backed out and he wants to go down to the middle line. But watch for Kyler to either give a big shot to Jambroni or try and split him 4 wide again. Kyler has that tendency. He will find a hole where there isn't one, and most of the time he'll make it work, as he did right there. But it definitely helped that Josh McCullough did not want any part of it, and he backed out right there. Tucker McClendon and Josh Jambroni will be working together in this race. They just have Kyler Wynn in the 82 in between them right now. But that is a good asset to have in your line, especially as a pusher. Kyler knows how to push, and he's doing a good job for Jambroni, as Chris Walker is going to hop back up to that third lane. Vicente Guerrero and Cody Nagels are still leading the bottom 2 lines, but now Guerrero drops down. Osmanoth stays where he is. Jambroni clears down to the middle with that push from Kyler Wynn. He's going to go all the way down to the bottom. What a shove from Wynn to Jambroni. And a good job by Josh Jambroni hopping down to the bottom of this thing. Tucker McClendon gets Kyler a little loose with a push on the exit of the corner right there. But they keep that sorted out. David Flanagan in the back, he's dropped all the way 5th on the outside. He just hopped up to the outside knowing that if you want to make progress, you kind of have to go up somewhere up. If you're trapped on the bottom, you really don't have anywhere to go. You got to go up and make your moves that way. But his teammate Ozernoth is taking it to Josh Zambroni right now. He's fighting for the lead in the JS Pont number 89. Very interesting Jeff Gordon tribute paint scheme, but for the Jack Shack. Josh Zambroni will lead lap number 9 for us, but now Kyler Wynn is doing his best with that push from Tucker McClendon, who's trying to square up with him as best as he can to give that push to the third line, but right now it's just not working out for them, as they will be falling back a little bit. Josh Zambroni has got a big lead right now, it appears. At least off the corner he did. Vicente Guerrero is going to come back to him right there and give him another shove, but Chase Mastretta with a big hit to the back of Ozernoth is going to help Ozernoth's chances at getting the lead here. Tucker McClendon backs way off of Kyler Wynn. It looks like him and Walker are going to just hop back into line and leave Kyler Wynn stranded out there where he is, but now Chris Walker and Dave Flanagan are going to hop back out there to try and assist Kyler Wynn and help their own chances of getting back up through the field. Oh! Vicente Guerrero blows up! Vicente Guerrero just blew his engine as well. That's 2 engine blowouts that we've had in this race so far. That was very quick for Vicente Guerrero. Let's see if we can take a quick replay of that. So he's behind Josh Zambroni. He's laying off of him. He's not even attached to his bumper, but he's still close enough to where that engine just blows up for Vicente Guerrero. Nagel's nowhere to go. Might have even got a little damage right there on the nose of Cody Nagels. But Vince does have his fast repair, so he will be able to continue in this race should he take it. But right now he will have to tow his way back to the pits, unfortunately for him. Back to the front, Trevor Ozernoth and Josh Zambroni still leading both of these lines. Chris Walker and Cody Nagels are trying to work the top side right now, and Kyler Wynn barely squeezes in behind Nagels and in front of David Flanagan. On the back of that third line. Beautiful paint scheme for Josh Zambroni, that Corona Extra number 49. That is a absolutely beautiful paint, if I'm not mistaken. Evan Carlbon made that for him. Shout out to him. Evan's been getting a lot better at paints. If you're interested in a paint, go talk to Evan. I'm sure he'll make one for you, and he'll make a good quality one like he did for Josh Zambroni right there. And he's giving it a good ride. The 2 PBG teammates, the probably band group, that is Logan York's team. Logan has been absent. He'll be gone, I believe, till January 7th. He is on vacation, visiting family during this Christmas and New Year's season. But he's doing his team proud right now as him and McClendon lined up on the bottom. Ozernoth does clear them for now, but it's a good shove and a good effort by the PBG boys down there on the bottom so far. Chase Mastretta and Brian Hennings. Brian Hennings is working with Nightmare eSports tonight, so they have 5 teammates in this field. It'll be Mastretta, Guerrero, Nagels, Falkingham, and Brian Hennings, who normally is a Team PGR driver, but he didn't have any teammates in here, and he asked if he could run with Nightmare. And right now he's doing a great job. He pushes Chase Mastretta to the lead, and now he, with a push from Wyatt Gray, who's also working with the PBG boys of Josh Zambroni and Tucker McClendon, is going to try and give a push to Hennings, but it might be a little bit difficult because Hennings does have that rear damage. Chase Mastretta is trying to block Trevor Ozernoth. He did it once, but he didn't want to do it twice, so he just took his loss right there. He's going to end up in the top line, get another push. Oh, Josh Zambroni gets into Chase Mastretta. They save it, though. It was a great save from Mastretta right there, but it does shuffle him and Hennings out. On the third line, they have absolutely no momentum, and now Daniel Falkingham has arrived at the front of this field with a push from Wyatt Gray. That definitely worked out in his favor, but Mastretta, I'm sure, is not too happy with Josh Zambroni right now. So it looked like Zambroni might have been riding a little bit high, got in the left rear of Mastretta, and it just hooked him around just enough to kind of screw over Mastretta and Brian Hennings. But they're still in the race. It looks like no damage was taken for anyone involved. Daniel Falkingham clears for the lead right here on lap 15 with the push from Wyatt Gray. And now Wyatt Gray and Kyler Wynn, that is a pretty solid combo leading that outside line right here. See what they are able to do, but Trevor Ozernoth does not want to push Daniel Falkingham, and he's going to hop up in front of Wyatt Gray and looks like easily clear Falkingham for the lead right here. And as Josh Giambroni did not have the opportunity to get up there. Now Dave Flanagan is going to hop down in front of Giambroni. I'm not sure if that was strategized, planned out by them. But interesting look right there for Flanagan to want to get down. You usually only see that when we're approaching pit stops, so I wouldn't think we probably have at least 5-10 more laps before that has to happen. Kyler Wynn gets Wyatt Gray a little bit loose right there. Almost doors Trevor Ozernoff in the 89. Now he gets him loose all the way up to the third line. Wyatt Gray is going to lose all of his momentum right here. He's going to go to the back as well. Some iffy pushes and some blown engines is what we've had 16 laps into this one so far. As it's going to be Ozernoff and Falkingham for the Jack Shack and Nightmare, respectively, leading the lines again. Looks like everyone's somewhat content to just ride where they are right now. We've got a lot of single file going on in the back with Kenny McCullough, Josh McCullough, Mark Von Dell. Only 7 cars, it looks like, in the outside line. Look for them to want to be working their way down to the bottom, see if they can get someone to let them down and prepare for this pit stop that we will surely be having soon. The exit 2, it's still just a 2x2 train right now. Nobody wants to do anything super aggressive. Let's go back and check on Vicente Guerrero. Let's see if he's back onto the racetrack, and he is. He is drafting with the number 25 car, which appears to be William Rice in this number 25, the yellow and red car right there. Vicente, it's good that he found someone to draft with, but Vicente is a lap down with that tow that he had to do when he blew his engine, as it is the same for Chris Melton, but Melton was lucky enough to kind of get back into the pack. Melton is easily in the lucky dog position right there in the 49 car with his teammate Wagner behind him. Definitely going to be working with him to try and keep him in the draft, but not hit him or push him in any sort of way that'll give him a contact point to negate that lucky dog for him. So he's got that pretty much in hand right now should a yellow come out. We got some loose cars up at the front of this thing. Trevor Ozernoff and Daniel Falkingham getting him a little bit loose right there as Kyler Wynn is now going to drop to the bottom with a push from Chris Walker. Cody Nagels has found himself back in the top 5 of this thing, and so is Chase Mistretta, third on the outside line after that incident between him and Josh Giambroni. Chris Walker with the push from Nagels is now going to clear down to the lead. Outside line is rolling right here. Tucker McClendon wants his look at it. He's going to hop up there, kind of ditch his teammate Josh Giambroni, and Sean Corbett's going to take advantage of it on the bottom. And now Mistretta's going to get Nagels clear. Now it'll be up to Wyatt Gray to try and get Mistretta clear at the front of this thing, but it's only 3 of them right there in the third car in line. Brian Hennings in the 74 has some right rear damage right now, which is not going to be helping his cause. He's still doing fine at the front, but it's going to be affecting him in some sort of way. Mistretta clears down. Now it's just up to Gray and Hennings, who they're really going to have to try and do their best to get down right here. Lots of activity going on in the back right here. You see some around Sean Corbett and Tucker McClendon are still side by side. Scott McLean. Oh, we're coming in for pit stops right here. Chris Walker, Kyler Wynn, a few others coming in for pits. Walker's locking it up, trying to get it down to pit speed. Trevor Ozernoff almost gets hit by Heath Job in the back right there, but overall a clean stop for Walker, Job, Ozernoff, Flanagan, Giambroni, Corbett. It looks like all coming in for this one right here. Both Walker and Giambroni and Ozernoff kind of overshoot their stalls right there. That's really interesting to see that. Jonathan Herbert as well down there in the number 87. That is not going to be helping their cause, trying to go as fast as they can in what we now know is a 2-stop race from here on out. Take it back to the front. Chase Mistretta, Cody Nagels, Kyler Wynn, Daniel Falkingham, Brian Hennings. Something's going on with Chase Mistretta. He's already dropping down right here. I'm not sure what's going on with him, but he's going to be able to make it in. The rest of the field coming into pit right here. Kenny McCullough, Scott McLean, Brian Hennings, just absolutely everybody coming in for this one. Mistretta's driving through the boxes. That was an odd look for him in turn 4. Not sure what happened with him right there, but they're all going to come in. Kyler Wynn almost gets himself crossed up with the nose of Cody Nagels. Nagels with that number 1 pit stall right here is definitely advantageous for him to have. for track position and for during the yellows. It's very helpful to get out of that commitment line as soon as possible. And like right there, that's what he gets. Nagels is going to easily be the leader of this thing. This little pack we have going on. Daniel Falkingham, his teammate behind him, giving him a shove. Wyatt Gray's going to slot in front of Kyler Wynn. This group needs to get organized as soon as they can, ideally for their efforts. We'll take a look back at the second pack. Chris Walker, Heath Jobe, Trevor Osmoroth. Looks like they're pretty well organized as well. They're going to pass a lot of these cars right here that are just coming off of pit road. But it looks like the second group got out a lot quicker than they did. Lots of cars bridging right here. Mark Von Dell, David Sheets, Kenny McCullough, Chase Mastretta, and Brian Hennings. Kind of lagging off that pack right now, but they're very easily in the draft, and it helps they have William Rice, the lap car in the number 25 right there, giving that group some tow as well against the first group of cars that pitted in Walker and Jobe and Osmoroth. 4-car breakaway right now between Nagels, Falkingham, Wyatt Gray, and Kyler Wynn. Brian Hennings and Chase Mastretta are trying to work their way back up there. Like I said, I don't think anyone in this pack should have any issue catching back up right here. We'll take a look. Josh McCullough is the last one in this line right now, including James Wagner, but James Wagner's 4 laps down. So everyone is kind of bridging off of each other right now. They're still in this pack, but it's a very large pack, very strung out pack. Then they're going to have to work together, especially when Sean Corbett right here gets up to his teammate Herbert. They're going to have to push him or go around him or something to be able to catch back up to Mark Von Dell ahead of them. As this group has now formed itself once again, Hennings and Mastretta caught up. They passed William Rice. He's the 7th car in line right there. Kenny McCullough, David Sheets, and Heath Jobe are at the tail end of this thing, and Chris Walker and Trevor Osmoroth are trying to make something happen at the back of it on the outside line, which is exactly what the cars in the backpack, including McCullough, McLean, Herbert, Corbett, those cars, they need this pack to be too wide so it'll help them out in their efforts of catching them, because right now they're pretty far back. Nagels is going to hop up in front of Chris Walker right here and start controlling the lanes. This is exactly what that second pack needs, and they really want to see that right now. We're back to 2x2 racing in the lead pack right here. Let's go back a little further. Mark Von Dell's at the tail end of this one. Herbert and Corbett, here they are. They look like they had a chance of losing the draft, but they are right here, back in business, at just barely at the tail end of this thing. They're a second back, but that is enough for them to have that draft, especially with the pushing that Sean Corbett is giving to his teammate Jonathan Herbert. Right here, we'll take it back up front. Josh Jambroni is looking up in the third line with David Flanagan. Jambroni wants to go back to the front. As you can see, he had a little incident with Chase Mastretta earlier, but now he's got the task of pushing Kenny McCullough up to the lead, who now decides he wants to go to the front. Gives him a big shot right there, gets him a little bit loose, but there's still only 3 cars up there. They might need another car up there to try and help them out. Chris Melton looks interested. He's kind of just trying to figure out what he wants to do right now. He's swapping between the middle and the outside. Now he goes to the outside. That'll help a little bit of that outside line's efforts, as Kenny McCullough's driven up to the lead basically right here. For him, he'll have a chance with the push from Jambroni to clear in front of Nagels. He is well clear, and he's going to go down, but Jambroni doors Nagels and wrecks himself in the process. And now we're wrecking big in the back. Sean Corbett, Jonathan Herbert, all involved in this one. That just looked like a simple case of tunnel vision to me for Josh Jambroni. You saw Kenny going down. He might not have called out what was going on for him. So there we go, halfway into this race, and we have our first yellow flag of the event. So we'll take a look at it. Right here, it was Josh Jambroni. So we see Jambroni is giving a great push to Kenny McCullough on the outside, and Kenny's going to clear down. That's what you have to do for temperatures on the car and everything with that, just to keep the lines moving, and Jambroni just follows him down into Nagels. Gets a little bit launched off of Kenny McCullough. He's going to get up in front of Flanagan. Flanagan's going to give him a little bit of contact. Jambroni might have got away from this all right. Flanagan with a good save in the number 60 Reese's car down there. Let's take a look at Sean Corbett, because I know he was involved. There's contact between Herbert and David Sheets, and Herbert just slams on the brakes in front of Sean Corbett. Sheets with some rear damage, and that's going to spin Corbett up into Tucker McClendon. Jonathan Herbert is going to slap up in front of the 49 of Josh Giambrone, give him even more damage. In this one, James Wagner with a little bit of damage as well. See if we can get another look at that real quick for Josh Giambrone. This should be an interesting view. In turn 1, as the field starts wrecking, this might actually be too far ahead. Well, nope, there it is. There goes Sheets around, and everyone else involved in this one. Look at Herbert and Corbett, Giambrone. Back that up again. They start wrecking in the back, just the tunnel vision from Josh Giambrone. Big one, number 1, and this one, Herbert straight up into Giambrone. That was a big hit for Giambrone back up into the wall. Let's see what Sean Corbett saw when this happened right here. It looks like, oh, hold on, there's something else going on right now. Looks like Sean Corbett and Ambrose Knable under caution. Something might have gone on right here. Corbett's car is just destroyed. Right there. He has to tow. Here's Ambrose Knable under the yellow flag. Says that he crashed. I'm not sure what happened to him. He's just gonna stop on the apron and tow his car. Now, I'm not sure what is going on right there with Knable and Corbett. Corbett makes sense. He had a lot of damage right there. It was like he just wanted to stop. Maybe his engine was gone, he just had to stop anyway. Take another look at Corbett. Right here, go to his cockpit view and see what he saw. As they started wrecking in front of him. So he sees it going on there, Flanagan and Giambrone, then Herbert into Sheets and slamming the brakes, and Corbett just nowhere to go in that one. So he will have to take his fast repair. Unfortunately, he will have to tow his car, as we saw. That's going to be a little bit of a added time for him, but he was closer to the pit road, which is going to help kind of move that tow time down a little bit. We'll take it back live. There is Josh Giambrone, who is back on the track. He's obviously taking his fast repair. So was David Sheets and a few others involved in this one. Cody Nagels is leading the race. Chris Melton and James Wagner are up front. They want their wave arounds right here, and it looks like they are going to get them. Since all of the field pit. They could potentially be good on fuel from here, maybe, if they save really, really hard, because they pit around lap 20 last time. We've got 23 to go. They're going to have to do some crazy saving and probably another caution if they want to make it to the end of the regulation of this race, not counting any overtimes. But it'll be Nagels, Falkingham, Chris Walker, Kenny McCullough, and Kyler Wynn or Trevor Osmoroth. Not sure what Kyler's doing down there in the 82. Osmoroth, Wynn, Flanagan, Mistretta, and Scott McLean is the top 10, as we've had our first caution flag of the race. Still got the rest of this race to go right here. We're past halfway. It's honestly been pretty clean and green so far. It was some good racing up front. Some calm, collected racing. Everyone using a little bit of give and take here and there whenever they wanted to. But now we're getting down to crunch time. It's always when 20 to go comes around. That's always the chaos time, I guess I should call it. Nagels and Falkingham on the front row for this one, still sitting behind the pace car. Looks like everyone got away from that wreck relatively well. Vicente Guerrero is back here blowing his engine. He still needs some help getting his lap back in this one. Melton Getting his lap back right now with the wave around, so is James Wagner, his R&R teammate. Josh Jambroni rounding out the field of lead lap cars right here at the back of this one, along with Herbert and McClendon and Josh McCullough. Looks like William Rice was able to get his back too. It's good to see that. Well, the pace car dives off for pit road. Nagels and Falkingham will be leading them back to the green flag with 22 laps to go. And this one they're approaching the Geico restart zone right now. We'll see if he jumps early or not. He's going to go a little bit early, about middle of the road in the box. Get a big jump right there in front of his teammate. He's going to go up in front of his teammate Falkingham and leave the bottom to the Jack Shack for Chris Walker and Trevor Osmoroth. It'll be interesting to see if Cody will go back down, and he will try and control these lanes while he has two sets of teammates lined up under him in Walker and Osmoroth. Probably going to let Falkingham come by right here. He will. He's not going to contest his teammate right there, so they will be leading both of the lines for Nightmare. Brian Hennings, as you see right there, was unable to get his damage fix on the right rear. It might be something that's very quick, just a few seconds, like 20 seconds, 25 seconds of damage right there. Didn't think it was worth losing his track position for that. Flanagan hops down, and Kyler Wynn takes a spot in the fourth row of these two lines. So Heath Job is back in the mix of this thing in the top 10. And all those new Hyper Motorsports paints that Corbett and Ward and Job and Herbert all have. Their 2025 rendition of their paint schemes for Heath Job, their creative designer. And they look very sharp out there on the racetrack this year. It's still Nagels and Falkingham at the front. Kenny McCullough giving good pushes to the back of Falkingham. A third line's trying to come up once again as Josh McCullough and Josh Jambroni, the Josh and Josh show, again on the third line. They want to go back to the front. It's about the third or fourth time it's just been the two of them up there trying to make something happen. Kyler Wynn's leaving a big gap behind Brian Hennings right here. Wouldn't be surprising to see him try and hop up in front of McCullough should that third line actually start moving forward. And it looks like they're actually doing a solid job of it right now. Good for them. Here goes Kyler. Yep, he's going to hop up to the third line. And that'll help out Josh Jambroni with his temperatures. And now it'll be up to Josh McCullough to get that line moving forward. Heath Job will fill in that spot in the middle, 4 cars deep. Now Kenny McCullough hops up in front of Kyler Wynn. Nagels hops back down after hopping up in front of his teammate initially. It's kind of an interesting look there for Nagels. Usually you want to stay up there and kind of pin the third line right there. And now he's trying to block Chris Walker. Look at this, what's going on right here. And he's going to get Walker turned. And he's, wow, that's some crazy racing up the front. Chris Walker ain't going to be party to that for long. I know he's not going to be a fan of that from Cody Nagels trying to block him right there. But he's going to finally hop up to the middle in front of Nagels' teammate Falkingham. While Kenny McCullough and Kyler Wynn are still trying to work the top lane. Kyler's been pushing Kenny for a while right here. He's got to be getting hot soon. Osmoroth is driving through Cody Nagels. Probably doesn't appreciate what Nagels did to his teammate Walker. Right there is Nagels is still kind of solo leading the lines right now. He's in his own row, but now Osmoroth with the run and a push from Flanagan at the bottom of this thing. Daniel Falkingham, the 39 car, is kind of getting buried now. He's going to be the 4th car in the middle line right here as Osmoroth is going to clear. Now it's up to Chase Mastretta on the bottom to push Flanagan to the lead right here as that third line's kind of dying out. Kyler's getting a little warm. As you can see, he's off Kenny's bumper. Into turn 1, it'll now be Flanagan and Osmoroth, the Jack Shack teammates, leading the lines right here. They have found their ways back up to the front of this thing, and now they are the leaders of the two lines that are truly in the lead of this right now. Kenny McCullough does lead the third line, yes, but doesn't have a lot going for him. Now Nagels is going to hop up in front of McCullough. That'll help Kyler Wynn with his temperatures, and it might give Nagels a chance at clearing, but he's not going to have it right there. They're going to need a big run off of turn 4. This time by coming to 17 laps to go. See if Nagels can get clear. It looks like he's going to have a chance to, for sure. Kenny just doesn't have that push in him right now to get him there. And he's trying to split Cody. Wow, Kenny McCullough just split Cody Nagels 4 wide, and Kyler Wynn goes with him. So does Josh McCullough. And Cody and Kyler got into it once again. That looked like a massive amount of net code, if anything, right there. Between them, the way Kyler just got whipped sideways right there. That is a all too common theme that we see these days is Nagels and Wynn kind of getting into it. They had a little beef further back, but they sorted it out for a while, but it's like those two are magnets to each other. If they're around each other, you know the sparks are going to fly, as it did right there. Between Nagels in the 6 and Wynn in the 87, but everyone got away from it fine. Nagels is just in the back now. It's crazy seeing Kenny McCullough do that. Kenny McCullough is a very patient driver. You don't see him splitting people 4 wide very often. Look at him giving a push to Chris Walker right there on the outside line as he wants to go up there and lead this thing. Chase Mastretta is now back leading this thing after some contact with him and Josh Jambroni earlier, as we see Jambroni in 49 has taken up station 5th in line in the middle. Lots going on right here as we're going to be coming to 15 laps to go right here. You can feel the tension building up, all these little things going on here and there, and it's just going to all explode at some point before the end of this thing. You just know it will. It always does in real life NASCAR, and it does in iRacing on super speedways as well. Kenny's giving Chris Walker everything he has on that outside line, trying to get him to go forward. We'll see if McCullough wants to split Walker 4 wide the same way he tried to split Nagels, but looks like he's content to sit there behind him right now and give him all the push that he can. He's still pushing him in the corner. Walker's taking it very well, though, all things considered. McCullough pushing him that hard in the corners. Flanagan hesitates, trying to move up in front of his teammate Ozerov, and it's going to get him a little loose. Mastretta is now just kind of by himself on the bottom. Wyatt Gray is nowhere near him to try and push. We are 3 cars clear. Ozerov, Flanagan, and Walker all for the... Oh, Walker's getting turned by his teammate Flanagan. And now Wynn and McCullough go down. Kyler's going to cut Kenny a break right there. Some crazy racing going on. Lots of line manipulation at the front of this thing. Now Kenny McCullough leads this thing, as does Kyler Wynn in the middle, and now Josh McCullough with a push from Nagels and William Rice on the outside. 14 laps to go. It's ramping up big time right here. You see a lot of cars in the back just kind of riding where they are. They don't want any piece of this yet. They expect a crash to come, and in all likelihood it will, if we keep up the racing we're doing right now. Daniel Falkingham's found his way back. He's 3rd in line in the middle. Now 4th as McCullough hops back up in front of Wynn. Nagels is giving it to Josh McCullough on that top side. He's trying to get him to go and go and go. He wants his spot back at the front of this thing after him getting split and a contact between him and Kyler Wynn. $13 to go this time by. Walker and McCullough leading the lines. That 3rd line just needs some more help. There's a few guys in the back. They could hop up there and help their cause, but they don't want to. They're just sitting where they are right now. You see Sean Corbett has returned to the racetrack. He's going to go another lap down right here. It's unfortunate for him being involved in that one and only caution we've had so far in this race. Walker with the push from Ozerov, trying to stay in front of Kenny, but Kyler's pushing Kenny for everything he's worth. And it's just kind of even out these lines right here. But Nagels has pushed Josh McCullough up to the lead row of this thing. But now he's hot, and he's laying so far off of Josh, he's going to hop back down in line in front of his teammate Daniel Falkingham and leave Josh out to dry. Right there, not sure if that was coordinated by the two of them, or if Cody was just getting hot. 12 to go this time by. McCullough with the edge over Walker on this one. Back to 2x2. Who's going to be the one that wants to start the 3rd line again? Who's that going to be? Who's going to be the ones that decide, you know what, I have to make something happen. Let's go up to the 3rd and try and work something out with some of these teammates. See if we can have our shot at the 3rd line and have our chance of winning this thing. There's a big checkup on the outside. Daniel Falkingham's going to hop low right here. Wonder if we have another pit stop, seeing something like that. Falkingham going down, Nagels hopping down. Yep, we're getting ready to pit right here, it appears. if they're going to be hopping down. We're going to be coming to 11 to go here. Not sure if they're going to be maximizing the life of the tank or what. Oh, is there some contact at the back? Scott McLean and Josh McCullough, the big checkup of everyone letting everybody in line. Right there, they all sorted it out, though. That's good. William Rice is going to get led in by Scott McLean. At the front is still McCullough and Osmernoth, Wynn and Walker, Mastretta and Jambroni. McCullough's going to be screaming at somebody wanting to get him down, as will the rest of these. Wynn, Jambroni, and Sheets going to be wanting to get down as soon as they can. Right here is basically the rest of the field is single filed out right here. See if they will pit this time. They will. Mastretta hops off, as do a few others. A lot of the field right here. McLean, Gray, William Rice is going to miss it. Trying to come to the pits right there. Von Dell. Oh, he's going to get into Scott McLean and spin himself out right there in the back. But it's going to be Gray, Mastretta, Nagels, Falkingham, Joshua McCullough, Brian Hennings, Mark Von Dell, all coming into pit this time. Looks like everyone gets in pretty clean, for the most part, at least into their boxes. Wyatt Gray has taken off. He will easily be the leader of this little group right here. Mastretta will pass his teammate Nagels. That'll line up Nightmare, and they will have to get together real quick to try and combat this first group, as here they are in turn 3. Osmernoth, Walker, Flanagan, McCullough, Sheets. Here they come this time by the rest of the field. Look at Kyler Wynn getting all he can get right there. He's going to take the lead and lock him up. Hopefully he made it into the pits right there. Jambroni gets into Flanagan, into Walker, into Sheets. A little bit right there, but everyone gets clean. Kyler Wynn went from like 8th to 1st on that pit entry. What a job by him entering the pits. Walker goes through his box, as we see back there. Josh Jambroni's putting right side tires on back there. For some reason, that's going to hurt his pit time right here. Flanagan, Sheets all coming back out. Vicente Guerrero pitted with this group as well. We'll take it back to Cody Nagels, Daniel Falkingham, Brian Hennings, Joshua McCullough, and Heath Job have just pulled away from everybody, but there's someone missing right here, and it's Chase Mastretta. I don't know what happened to him right here. We'll have to take this back. Let's see what happened to Chase Mastretta. It seems like something between him and Wyatt Gray. Oh, there's just a big stack up. Oh, Mastretta, instead of... Oh, what is Wyatt Gray doing? He just comes right back down in front of Chase Mastretta. And I'm surprised the yellow flag did not come out for that. That is horrible luck for Chase Mastretta. Let's run that back one more time. Wyatt Gray showed that he was going to go up and then just block Chase for no reason when they have the run. Look at him, he's just going to go right back down. Mastretta nowhere to go. That hurts this line significantly. We'll take it back live and see what's going on. It should be Osmer. Yeah, this group handily with the lead right here because of what Wyatt Gray just did to Chase Mastretta and the rest of that line. Not sure what that was all about. But they're 2x2. Wynn, Osmernoth, Flanagan, and McCullough. Now Nagels. This group has caught them. Nagels is going up to the third. Daniel Falkingham's going to go up there with him. Hennings in the back as well. 3 Nightmare, at least teammates and guys that are working together right now, including Hennings. It's only them up there on the top side. This pack has been whittled down to about, say, 11 cars right here in the lead pack because of the incident on pit road with McLean and Rice, and also what happened on the backstretch with Mastretta and Gray. Osmernoth and Nagels now leading the lines. Kyler Wynn is the one pushing Cody Nagels. This could get really, really interesting right here because you know Kyler ain't going to be letting off of him for anything. 7 laps to go. Nagels is going to clear down to the bottom in front of Osmernoth. Daniel Falkingham tries to squeeze in, but in front of David Sheets, and that kind of screwed over Brian Hennings in the back, but he's all right. We're still just 2x2. There's only 4 on the bottom. The top line has the momentum and the numbers right now to try and make something happen. It's still Wynn and Nagels. Kyler Wynn is laying completely off of Cody Nagels right now. Josh McCullough trying to get a third line going. Kyler's still not pushing him. Hopefully he's hot and isn't just laying off of him because it's Cody, but you never know. Games are played by everybody in this, no matter what happens. So hopefully he's not playing any games, but like I said, everyone does. Now he's pushing him, so hopefully Kyler was just hot right there. I'm sure that's all it was. Giving a push back to Nagels, keeping it 2x2 here. Josh McCullough is trying his best to try and get someone to go with him in the back, but nobody wants to. And it won't be Vicente Guerrero back there because he is still a lap down. If I'm not mistaken, he's the first car a lap down, so he definitely can't be pushing anyone up to the front or be involved in a crash. His best chance is to sit back at this thing. McCullough needs someone to hop up in front of him if he wants to make any progress in this. Osmerhouse is going to get pushed clear, and he's going to get in front of Cody Nagels. And that'll leave Flanagan and Heath Job as the lead pushers on the bottom. As there's only 3 of them, the rest of this pack, 8 cars deep, are on the outside line right here. Flanagan, Osmerhoff, right next to each other with 5 laps to go. Josh in the back is still trying to make something happen. It's just probably going to be too little too late for him unless someone else wants to go up there. It looks like Daniel Falkingham's taking a peek. Kenny McCullough's blocking him for it. Now McCullough's going to hop to the bottom. Honestly, not a bad play because they're just leaving it open down there. But this little group of 6 right here is kind of pulling away a little bit. There it is. Kenny McCullough and Daniel Falkingham take it to the 3rd line. That is everybody going to travel up there with them, except for Josh. He's going to stay back down the green and black number 1 car in the back. Nagel's trying to push Osmerhoff, but he's got to be hot at this point. That should just easily allow McCullough on the outside in the 03 to get clear, but Falkingham doesn't give him a good enough push. 4 laps to go this time by. Kenny McCullough, Trevor Osmerhoff, David Flanagan leading the lines. McCullough's just going to clear in front of Osmerhoff. That'll leave Falkingham the leader. On the outside, he'll need David Sheets to give him as good a push as possible. There's Wyatt Gray getting lapped after the accident, after the pit stop right there. Heath Job getting a little loose 3rd in line on the bottom in the 760, that teal and black and white Hyper Motorsports car. McCullough's cleared all the way down to the bottom now in front of David Flanagan. It's been a good run for Kenny so far. He's been kind of taking it to him, showing everybody out here that he does still have it. He can go up there and lead and control the lines just like anyone else, as he's doing right now. He's going to clear in front of Osmerhoff. Nagel's up in front of Falkingham, his teammate. That's going to hurt the middle line a little bit, but now Falkingham has to do everything he can to push Cody Nagels to the lead. 3 laps. Oh, Osmerhoff's dooring him in the outside right there. I don't know what's going on right here. There's Mastretta on the outside line. Nagels is now competing for what appears to be P2 right now, the 2nd row back. They just don't have a lot of help up there right now. Falkingham's out. Kyler's going to hop up in front of Osmerhoff and leave it up to... Oh, Nagels... Oh, not clear. Not clear for Daniel Falkingham in the back. They saved it. That looked like he was trying to get down in front of the guy he's working with, Brian Hiddings, right there. Interesting look, but that really hurt Kyler Wynn right there, as Nagels and Falkingham did not want to work with Kyler whatsoever right there. 2 to go this time by. Kenny McCullough still controlling lines up here. If he pushed from Osmerhoff right there. Now Josh McCullough's worked his way up to the top 5. All that effort he was trying to do, get up to the 3rd line and everything. Now here he is. Finds himself in the top 5 and in a cash spot for this one. Kyler Wynn and David Sheets. David Sheets is going to blink out in the 06 momentarily behind Kyler Wynn. And he's still blinking. That is not helping Kyler at all in that 3rd line. He needs someone with a good connection and a good pusher out there, but Sheets is just blinking so bad, there's not much he can do. Oh, Kenny McCullough's going to get hooked to the outside wall. He's going to come back down. They keep it straight. Kyler's going to split him 4 wide. Sheets goes with Kyler. Looked like Osmerhoff hooked Kenny McCullough into the wall right there. Heath Job finds himself on the bottom. What a race and a win this could be for Heath Job. He is the leader on the bottom line. He's leading this race. He has a good chance to lead him to the white flag right here. Walker's going to hop up in front of his teammate. He tries to block. He's going to have Daniel Falkingham, one of the best in the business. Going to push it. Oh, he's going to get hooked. Hennings gets into Falkingham, into Job. Heath Job is still going to be the leader of this thing. Falkingham hops up behind David Flanagan. Oh, Walker's getting hooked by Cody Nagels in the outside wall. And he's trying to hook him. He couldn't do it. Kyler's getting turned in the back by Chase Mastretta, who's found himself back at this thing. David Flanagan is the leader. Heath Job has no help on the bottom whatsoever. Now Hennings is going to get to him. He's going to try and give him everything he has. Flanagan down to the bottom. Falkingham is going to try and push Osmerhoff. Or, sorry, the other way around. There's so much going on right here. Hennings gets turned by Kenny McCullough in the back. Heath Job has nobody down there on the bottom. He needs some help. Flanagan, Falkingham, and Osmerhoff, the 3 on the outside line right here. What will Daniel Falkingham do coming to the finish right here? He looks low. He's going to hook Flanagan. He's going to go back down, juke him back to the bottom. Daniel Falkingham is going to win the race right at the line. David Flanagan in second. Trevor Oswernoth in third. And a massive crash after the flag. Heath Joe brings it home in fourth. A great run for him. And Joshua McCullough in fifth. What a wild last few laps right there that we just had. Some crazy racing. But Daniel Falkingham in the 39 wins the race for Nightmare Esports. Juking David Flanagan as best as he could. Wow, what a finish. We got to take this back a bit and take a look. This is Falkingham. We got to go up right here. Because it looked like Flanagan was trying everything he could to block it. Dave Flanagan is a good blocker. But it looked like he just couldn't really do much right here. Falkingham in 39. He's getting driven through by Oswernoth. Falkingham's going to go down. It's going to swipe David's bumper. As you can clearly see, it gave him damage. It's going to hook him down to the apron. Falkingham straightens it back out. He's going to come back up the track and try and block Falkingham, but Falkingham just goes back down. Sheets is going to turn his teammate Josh McCullough in the back. He's going to hook Oswernoth a little bit. And Falkingham just has the side draft at the end of the race right here to barely get David Flanagan at the line. Crazy, crazy finish right here at the end of this one. Heath Job's getting hooked right there at the end. We'll play this out so y'all can see that crazy crash into turn one after it. Big hits. Josh McCullough gets launched before it starts barrel rolling. Thank God it's a sim, right? That'd be some crazy, crazy injuries and things going on right there. But wow, what a finish we just had right here. We'll go ahead and pull up the finishing order as we see Daniel Falkingham doing his burnouts as he wins the race by 1/100th of a second over David Flanagan right at the line. We'll pull this up. Daniel Falkingham for Nightmare Esports in the number 39 wins the race. David Flanagan for the Jack Shack in second. Trevor Oswernoth for the Jack Shack will finish third. Heath Job for Hyper, a fantastic run for him, finishes fourth. Josh McCullough fifth. Kyler Wynn in sixth. Kenny McCullough seventh. David Sheets eighth. Brian Hennings ninth. Cody Nagels drops back to 10th place at the end of this one. Chris Walker 11th. Scott McLean 12th. Josh Jambroni 13th. Mark Vondell 14th. Jonathan Herbert 15th. Chris Melton in 16th. Mark Person in 17th. Chase Mastretta for Nightmare Esports will round it out in 18th. 19th will be Vicente Guerrero. Tucker McClendon in 20th. Sean Corbett 21st. Wyatt Gray 22nd. James Wagner 23rd. William Rice 24th. Ambrose Knable 25th. I don't believe started the race. Or Sammy Carter in 26th. Well, that was a crazy ending to that one. We'll see if we can get everyone from the top three in for interviews right here. Stick with us. Give us about 5 minutes. We'll see if we can get them in for interviews with your winner Falkingham, P2 Flanagan, and P3 Oswernoth. Back here at Talladega Superspeedway, we'll go ahead and start with your winner tonight, Daniel Falkingham for Nightmare Esports. Daniel Falkingham, do you have a copy?
Hello, how we doing?
Well, that was an exciting finish to the end of that one for sure. Lots going on, lots of crazy finishing, just in general. So much going on at the last run of that race. Walk us through how you won that race right there at the end and beat David Flanagan.
Yeah, I got a lot to get through there because with like 3 to go, I wasn't in that favorable of a spot. I was like in like 9th or 10th, just being buried in the pack because our pit strat, I was pitting early and then trying to come out and try to jump everyone. Yeah, like it definitely got crazy at the end, but definitely definitely thankful everything all worked out. I hate Chase got killed with whatever happened there coming out of the pits and him and Y getting together. But then after all that, we got through the field. We made some moves. We rode the bottom on the last 2 laps to see if we could get through those guys because I knew the guys up top were going to be hot and probably not be able to push. And whoever the 23 was, I think that was David or someone else. Whoever was in the blue 23 car, I think it might have been Chris Walker. Their numbers ain't lined up, but yeah, they were shoving the bottom very good with like 2 to go. That allowed to get clear of the top. And then I was getting bounced around. I was getting shoved all over the place. Like it got all hectic, but thankfully, we came out on top. I know David threw an epic block. He threw a perfect block through the tri-oval, but him going from the apron to the track just killed all his momentum, and I was able to get underneath him and get the win. So that was hectic at the end, but I'm glad we came out on top.
Well, it was a great finish for you and Nightmare Esports. Unfortunately, they got caught up right there. Y'all had the strategy and everything, but it just didn't work out at the end. Go ahead and give your thanks and your shout-outs.
Yeah, I just got to thank Kenny for putting these on. Thanks to everyone who comes on races. Shout out to all the Nightmare boys, Cody, Chase. We also had Brian as well, and we had a few others in there too. We had Vincent in there and a few others. I'm forgetting everybody, but thanks to all the Nightmare boys for working together the whole race. We tried everything we could. Some of them got shafted at the end, but thankfully, I'm glad we were able to get one for the Nightmare Club. But shout out to them. Shout out to you for broadcasting. Shout out to everyone who watches. All the fans who watch each and every week. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, there you have it. That is Daniel Falkingham, your winner here tonight for Nightmare Esports. We'll go ahead and talk to David Flanagan as well, your P2 finisher. David Flanagan, Landon in the booth, do you have a copy?
Oh, holy moly. What's up, Landon?
Yeah, it's a new mic. I know I sound different. We haven't talked since then, but this is David
I
Flanagan.
know. I got a new mic.
I can tell. You also sound different. That's kind of weird. Anyway,
I know.
walk us through the finish of that one right there. You tried to block Falkenham for all you had, but at the end it was just too little too late.
Yeah, MMS has a 3-block rule. So, I mean, once I got down to the apron, I wasn't going to try and block him again anyways. But if I did throw it, I was going to lose the spot I already had. And my block on Kenny, or not really block, just my clear up was questionable on Kenny. So, yeah, I was just trying to hang on to some money there. It was a fun race, though. Glad Falkingham got to see my bumper a little bit. I'm glad we competed out there, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun one to watch coming to the end of it. Lots going on between lots of different people. But go ahead and give out your thanks and your shout-outs for your P2 tonight.
Yeah, obviously them boys over at the Jack Shack. Trev, he got a nice P3 there. Nice to see him there. Also a good run by Heath there. I didn't see that until just now, but good run by Heath. My friends over at Chrome Racing. Thanks to all of them. And yeah, thanks for the broadcast, Landon. Your voice sounds amazing. Hope you do some more. You did Thursday, right?
I did.
Yeah, well, you did a damn good job in there. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, you have a good night.
Yep. That is David Flanagan, your P2 finisher tonight for the Jack Shack, and we will go ahead and pull up Trevor Osmernoth as well. I want to see if we could get Heath Job as well for his 4th place finish, but we'll talk to Trev first real quick. Trevor Osmernoth, Landon in the booth, do you have a copy?
Of course, brother.
So P3 finish for you tonight, and some wild racing coming to the end of it, but at the end of the day, Jack Shack gets at least 2 cash spots right there, 2nd and 3rd. Walk us through what you saw right there coming to the finish.
A whole lot of carnage. That's what I saw. Oh man, it was discombobulated, out of order, lots of beating and banging. Just how it should be, you know? Typical Daytona or Talladega race, beating and banging, having a good time, people yelling at each other. What can you expect, brother? It's a good time. That's what I saw.
It was definitely a fun one to watch, and I'm sure a lot of words are going to be said between a few people that I saw out there, not to name names, but seems like a few guys got together more often than anyone else out there. But anyway, at the end of the day, you came home 2nd and 3rd for the Jack Shack for your team. Unfortunately, Walker, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it was the only other one for y'all tonight, didn't come home with a top 10 or a cash spot, even though he was in position to, led a lot of laps. But anyway, 2 out of 3 for y'all. Go ahead and give your thanks and your shout-outs.
Oh yeah. I gotta thank, of course, the Jack Shack. I had David and Chris out here. We were up front a lot. executed on pit stops, on and off pit road. Everything's just coming together. It was working really well. Got to thank everybody in this race. They were fairly, for the most part, clean. There were a lot of green flag runs. And for the good time, man, it's Friday night, sitting back, having a cold one, hanging out with the boys. Can't expect anything better. Got to thank Fulcher's Paint and Body, the sponsorship, right there on the hood of the. Well, no, actually, I ran the DuPont car tonight, the JSR Pont, tribute to the GOAT, as Landon would tell you, the greatest of all time is Jeff Gordon. So gotta thank him for that. And gotta thank you for broadcasting it. Appreciate it, man. I can't wait to go back and watch it. Gotta thank Kenny McCullough for putting on MMS damn near almost every day. So yeah. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for hosting. Can't wait to watch it.
Yes, sir. That is Trevor Ozernoth, your third place finisher tonight. Well, that was a crazy one, to say the least. Coming to the end of that one, as I said to Trevor, lots of contact with a lot of guys. I saw Walker and Cody and Kyler, Hennings and somebody. There was just a lot going on right there. I'm sure a lot of beef going on at the end of this one. I was going to pull in Heath Job as well, but it looks like he is reviewing right now something that happened on the last 2 laps of the race, so I will not disturb that. But anyway, shout out to him for a 4th place finish. He hasn't been running that much lately, but he came home in 4th tonight. He had a chance to win that thing. It was cool to see Heath for Hyper go out there and get a solid finish and a cash position for Mr. Job. Well, for PGR Esports and for Kenny McCullough putting on this host tonight, like we said, it was kind of last minute for the broadcast and for the race anyway. Kenny wasn't planning on hosting tonight, but he had to because John Ward had somewhere to go. Hopefully he's all right. But anyway, it was a fun race for us to watch. Only one caution in this race. It was a clean one, too. You like seeing that. But shout out to Daniel Falkingham for the win, David Flanagan for 2nd, and Trevor Ozernoth for 3rd place at the end of this one. I am Landon Veleke. For Kenny McCullough and for everyone else involved in the money racing scene, PGR Esports, MMS, RMR, RNR, Dega Pros, all of them. We thanks... I'm sorry, I can't even talk right now. We thank all of you for watching. We hope you have a very happy New Year. Hope you had a good Christmas. And we hope you have a very good evening tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.